to the Randy and Nick show. Dang it, we need to start this over. Welcome back to the Nick and Randy show.
No. You said it, Randy and Nick. There it is. Even when you take us in with all that high energy.
I forgot. Hey, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, East Coast.
Yeah, I got up really early today.
I was so shocked to see your text message this morning.
That was me an hour and a half after already being awake.
Wow,
yep.
Buddy. For those of you who don't know, Randy's a night owl most days of the week.
Yeah.
And so imagine my surprise when I woke up to see a text message from Randy 15 minutes ago. Hey, let me know when you're up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? Randy up before me?
Yeah.
No way.
It was important. I wanted to schedule time for this, And I was like,
this is an important show.
I'd rather do it now and get it over with because as of recording this, tomorrow is my anniversary. And
2 years?
2 years being married. Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
And how many years being together?
8.
Nice.
8 years together, 2 years of it being married. Tomorrow is also subsequently. Am I saying that right? Subsequently, thank you. Tomorrow's also subsequently my 1 year anniversary of Halo being released, thus being Kai's birthday. So June 30th is I love that. It's the most important day of the year for me is June 30th. Above my birthday, above Brittany's birthday, above Christmas or anything like that, or New Year's, is June 30th. A clean number. I love it. So, I will say, I'll say it here. I like giving a little. I'm recording. I've recorded and I'm editing a performance video of Halo that will go up tomorrow. So that'll be my way of celebrating the 1 year.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, I'll be looking forward to that. And I don't think this is going to go up before then, unless we pull another. Well, I guess last time we got this up pretty quick.
You did get this up quick.
Infinitely speed internet. Like, Randy will be like, all right, I'm going to start the upload as he drags the file over the folder. And then before his mouse unclicks on the file to drop it into the folder, it's already been uploaded. Just like, Randy, your internet's too fast for me.
I'm making up for lost time.
You're making it up fast.
Yeah.
Well,
I would say I'm also making up for lost time on I'm going to put a ribbon on the finger, come back to it, but I want to talk about the Talos of Tech podcast afterwards. But so tomorrow's a big day, and I really wanted to make time today instead of pushing it to Thursday, Friday, because I'm also working on some other stuff we'll talk later on in the show about, and I think it requires most of my time and attention.
Mm-hmm.
So today, this morning, I woke up, and I was like, I got stuff to do. Brittany had to wear her dress blues today.
Whoa, fancy day.
So
yeah,
I helped her get ready. So that's why I was like, I'm already up. I'm just going to stay up. And yeah. And then I honestly, I pictured you as the person who was up by like 5 a.m. So I was like, hey, text me. I didn't know if you'd be up or not. So I was like, text me when you get up because I was trying to be like polite about it. But in my mind, I was like, he's been up since 5. And then I think about last weekend when we recorded the podcast and you...
Hey, that was an exception to the rule.
That's
last
okay.
weekend.
That's okay.
No, yeah, I definitely have been sleeping a little bit later than I normally do. But I'm a normally night person too.
Good.
And so it's a big discipline thing for me to force myself to be a morning person, and
hard.
Be awake some days. And so it's been going, I guess, okay. But yeah, Saturday morning I didn't set an alarm because normally on Saturday mornings I'm up long before. I'm normally up at my 7:30, 8 o'clock time frame anyway on Saturdays, so getting up by 10 for the podcast is never an issue, except for last week. I woke up to Mike's FaceTime call.
You're like, hey guys, give me a second. I'm
okay.
Half awake. You're like, hey guys, give me a second. I'm running behind here.
Yeah, sure, it's running behind.
Yeah, you're like, hey, I'm running behind here. Give me a second.
Yeah,
that was you.
A little behind. Anyway, yeah. Well, glad you can make this happen. Thanks so much for making time, and happy early anniversary to both you and Brittany. I'm sure I will also wish you guys a happy anniversary tomorrow. But from my heart to yours and her non-present heart, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
What are we talking about today?
So, There's a lot I want to talk about. First thing.
I also have one thing to talk about.
You have one thing? Do you want to talk about your one thing first?
Well, if you have more than one thing, we can talk about one of your things, and then we talk about my one thing. And we can close it off with one of your other things.
All right. Well, then I'm going to hit the ground running, just because we're a few minutes into this already, and I don't know. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I have no idea how many people actually really watch this or watch it to the end or something like that.
30.
30?
Oh no, I don't know to the end. Probably 2.
Yeah.
Me and my mom.
Well, this is more me addressing it to you anyway. Okay. Even though I kind of know where you stand in this, I just want to kind of say it on record. Yeah, I'm gonna start with the controversial thing first.
Oh wow.
Right. You haven't talked to me about it, and I get why you haven't, and I have been reading the comments in the Telosa podcast.
Oh really? Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I just want to talk about it for a second.
Let's get it out.
Yeah, I just want to get it out. First of all, the person who has been addressing me for the past couple of weeks evidently subscribed to this channel. So maybe on an off chance he's watching this, I just want to say it more personably. First thing is, I don't hate you, okay, to the person. And,
okay.
and I don't. I could tell when someone's relatively new to our feng shui, and I can tell when somebody kind of comes in we're in the flow of something, and I can also tell when someone jumps the gun and says something before they see something in full context. Okay. Prime example was yesterday you put up the podcast, and it was not even live 12 minutes, and I was already seeing the comments, and I was like,
yeah,
if you'd watch the whole thing, you would see that how the dynamic then changes after I'm done giving my review. Okay, no more being shady. I'm just giving context here. What am I talking about to anybody who doesn't know? Mm-hmm. Evidently, people feel like I'm trying to steal the limelight and be the center of attention.
Randy. Just a attention hog over here.
Yeah. And I could tell the people who say this are the newer people who don't understand, which is fine. And then I saw somebody else who was just trying to attack me just to attack me. And the one person in the comment goes, what part do you agree with me on? Because I don't agree with any of what you just said. I'm just saying he's talking too much. And I laughed at that. One, Nick, actually no, I'm not even gonna say this to you because I know we for anybody who feels this way or what have you, it is foolish of you to think that we don't have production discussions behind the scenes before we record, after we record, off recording days, or the fact that we don't just kind of either go over the business side of things or go over the production side of things or go over the itinerary in advance, go over a blueprint of like, oh, here's what our roadmap looks like for the next couple of weeks. For people to think that we just kind of record and go and then that's it, and this is the only time.
That's what the show's supposed to feel like,
and it does come off that way. And technically, Saturday did start that way because we caught you. It's waking you up. Right. But people,
I was ready to go within 7 minutes. That was the fastest. I was faking it most of the EV podcast.
It was perfect. No, it was perfect. But for people to assume that we don't have conversations of any form of this caliber is foolish. And it's not on them to know better. But when people come at me with a preconceived notion, then it's like, okay, if that's what you think, one, I guess it does look like it, we are having a conversation piece, which I like, but then, everything is done by design. Because when I say I can tell when somebody's new or not new, is that means that person wasn't there when we have dry days of like there's nothing to cover, and we are just winging it the whole hour to almost hour and a half, right? Like this hour and a half, we try to make it energetic and sustainable as long as possible. We tried to make it entertaining, and we tried to make it move by naturally or organically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They don't see the times where all three of us have in the past paused, where we're just like, yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
And we have like a solid 30 seconds where we're just like, it's crazy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Can you believe Elon? He's so crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And
well, I would also say I think part of the reason why it was so prominent on this episode was because the headlining topic was at the end.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the title and thumbnail worked out much better to be Windows focused. And I think if we were in the pre-production stuff, if we put Windows before the Beats Bud conversation, I know that's in our minds when we went into the show, we're like, yeah, Beats Bud are going to be the big news of the week, right? It's a new Apple product, Apple-ish product. And so that's why, we didn't have a ton of stuff. We didn't think we had a ton of stuff to say about Windows 11. And so,
then you went on a rampage.
And then we spent like 45 minutes talking about Windows 11. That's fine. And that's how the show's supposed to go. But while I was editing it, while I was making that thumbnail, I was cognitively thinking, I know this is going to feel clickbaity for some people who don't watch the whole show. They're going to click on the Windows 11 thumbnail and headline and then watch 40 minutes of Beats review, basically.
Oh my God, Randy, just shut up already. Just
exactly.
Stop. And that's what it comes off.
Yeah, exactly. And so I knew as much as I knew that all this stuff was going to happen before I did it, but I was like, this is. I always let the show name itself.
Sure.
And that was the obvious name of the show.
It was perfect.
Having the Windows 11 stuff because, hey, it's.
If we were a well polished machine in the sense of post production, so to say, and we were okay with jump cuts and stuff like that, a simple switching it would have changed the mentality of it.
I have considered that. Yeah, I did consider that. But unfortunately, we just make jokes that are references to jokes that happen. If you switch the order around, then...
And that is what it is. At
the end of the day, it's a long-form show.
If you're going to watch the show,
then you're going to be in it for an hour.
If you're just going to come in and listen to me talk about Beats, and then you disagree with my assessment on Beats, and then say, God, just shut up already, then I appreciate everyone who takes the time to watch us, but I only really interact with the people that took the time for us. You know what I mean? Like you have to, not to be like, but you have to earn my time for me to actually take you seriously the way I take Scott or Simon or Grant or Jay, any of these people, Connor. Connor is commenting every single thing, and these people I know by first name basis. They've paid their dues, so when they have something to say, I listen a little bit more seriously. But the thing is, this one guy, he kept doing this, and I was like, all right. I'm going to respond to this guy. I'm going to break. Normally, I don't respond to it. I don't interact with it. But
normally, we don't respond to that stuff. That's why I didn't respond.
But I felt like I was like, I need to make a point. And then he deletes the comment, and then he backtracks, and then he still wanted the final word by starting a new thread.
That's fine. People be people on the internet.
I still got screenshots.
Oh gosh, Randy.
Hey man, I have been jaded.
Comments on the internet.
I know, but protecting the reputation, not for myself, but for what we've built. The brand is as important to me as it is to you. They don't see the years that we've put into this, the late nights of me writing the music and stuff like that, the amount of time you've meticulously gone in and go frame by frame on something for like the animation of the intro now, stuff like that. They don't, the way we build our promo videos to hype it up before we kick off the season, like we've put a lot of TLC into this because we genuinely do it for the love of the craft, and it's who we are as artists. So I don't they're not attacking me. They don't know me, so I'm not personally threatened by it or offended or anything, because they don't know me, and that's fine. But when it feels like they're kind of digging at the show, it's like, all right, hold on. Like I get more protective of you, Drew, the show, than I do of me. I don't, you know.
It's something that's collaborative, right?
Right.
You know,
As I don't. And also, I was gone for about a month.
Yeah.
And this was my way of purposely trying to make up for lost time. This is where I come full circle, Nick.
Okay.
How I start off, like I'm making up for lost time. The way I've been very energetic these last couple episodes on the podcast is by design. I'm being very intentional. I could sit there and just be like, oh, you have some good points. And when you guys start, like Nick, when you were talking about Windows 11, I listened because you had some good points, and I didn't catch the keynote, so I liked hearing your little rampage about the production and their knockoff. It's great.
I unironically listened to it again on YouTube later. Normally I don't do that, but I was like, Nick, that was a good rant. Let's listen to that again.
It's good. So when it dictates it, when protocol dictates it, I do pull back. And I guess the part I want to address to anybody who thinks otherwise is, don't discredit Nick or Drew to not knowing that if you don't know that we've identified cues on how to cut someone off or to break up the mundaneness or how to fill dead air when someone's Starlinking. Like, we have very apparent cues and we know how things work. When Nick goes on with something...
Are you saying you're a professional, Randy, that you've been doing this for almost 4 years now?
What I'm saying is that if I make it look like we're not being professional, that means we're being more humble to the ground and less... There's a lot of premeditation that goes into every execution. I know when to come in and save you. When you go on a tangent and then you realize, I don't know how to get out of this... I know, and then when I come in, you're like, thank you for saving me. Like, I know how to come in and save you. So does Drew. Likewise, you guys know when to jump in to be like, okay, here's what I have to add to that. It's a dance. It's a very elegant long form dance that we're executing, and what people see is what they want to see, and I can't control that. And a little bit, I don't really care because I know what we're doing, but I don't ever want it to come off like I'm taking away something when actuality, the intention of everything was that I'm just making up for lost time because I was gone for so long. And also there's a genuine eagerness to talk about things. When it comes to, one thing I said in the comment before it got deleted was, when it comes to headphones, audio, or music, I'm the guy. Mm-hmm. I'm going to talk about it for as long as I darn well please, because I know what I'm saying and I'm the guy. When it comes to lighting or cameras, photography, when Apple comes out with a new lens for something, you're going to talk about it, Nick, and I'm going to listen to what you have to say because that's your realm. I learned so much more from you when it comes to photography that dabbled into videography, about understanding the different lengths and stuff like 2x and why that's more natural to the eye. With everything, when you talk about this mixed with lighting, I'm captivated. I sit back, I listen, I like it, I learn. When Drew talks about, the fundamental roadmap about Apple, he has a way of articulating it better than anybody does. And so when he talks about, I love listening to it because he puts it into another perspective that goes, yeah. That makes sense.
So at the end of the day, this podcast is better than any one of us, right? We take the best parts of each one of our three personalities and make it into something that's better. And some people, haven't realized the value of some of those strengths, and they nitpick. And I get it. I used to nitpick before you realize how hard content creation is. It's so easy to say and complain and whatever, but at the end of the day, like, anytime I'm watching a video, on YouTube, and I notice, a funny little editing glitch or, something that's standing out to me, like, oh, yeah, their autofocus is focusing on the wall half the time, I now know as a creator, like, this is hard. Like, if you just spent an hour and a half talking about a subject and your camera was goofing up and you didn't know about it,
which has happened. About
that in post. Oh, that's totally happened.
Yeah.
We've had many. One of these years, I'm going to go back and find all of the production issues we've ever had and just put them in one podcast. That'll be funny. It's just Starlink, cameras out, Starlink.
I love how we've matured in the show as well, because you and I found an out where we didn't have to be married to the caricatures of ourselves attacking each other all the time, which we do out of fun and jest, but not. It wasn't. It almost felt obligated and forced like 2 seasons ago, and I don't cringe at it, but I appreciate the maturity that we were able to grow from that once we started taking ourselves more seriously with the production, where we talk about each other's strengths. We had things that we brought to the table, and our gimmick was, "You suck, Nick. You suck, Randy." Da, da, da. And we would do, and at one point it just felt forced. Now, where it's more refined and polished, fine-tuned, we can still have our fun, which we do. I'm not saying that we're all business. We still have our fun, but now it's like what you say when you bring something. Dude, you talk about things on the EV channel that like I would not think about when you compare like rockets, for example. You're talking about well, we were talking about
one track mind here.
Well, hold on. But you were talking about the evolution of flight and aviation, and the engines and the motors, and then the diminishing returns, and then what was being compromised. And you talked about something in perspective I never thought about, where I was like, yeah, that actually makes sense. That type of maturity where you definitely bring something to the table that, and I tell this to you now because so many times, and what people don't understand or what they don't see was how many times we would talk and you're like, dude, what do I have to offer? Like so much doubt leading up to. You're like, what? I mean,
everyone has that.
Everybody has that.
I have it the most.
The amount of times you've talked about, pulling back on the show. Maybe I should just be a behind the scenes guy. I feel more comfortable there. Da 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 da. And you're right. That's a natural thing that we feel. I've even felt it. The whole charismatic and animated. This is an act. You know what I mean? It's
not this show, but yeah.
No, I know, but like you've seen me when I'm acting, and you've seen me when I take off the mask, and I'm just a slug. Like, I'm just tired then, and I just kind of get quiet, and I get really hyper focused on things. It's interesting because they don't see those parts of us, and they just assume the one thing, but they don't see when you are putting 2 hours into setting up lighting.
Just 2 hours? Come on, Randy.
Yeah. I took a nap. Come wake me up when you're ready.
That was the best decision you ever made.
Dude, I woke up feeling great. Listening to the white noise of the guy building something from scratch at the house, that was amazing. I still watch
some of his videos.
That's amazing. But the amount of time you've put into making lights or lighting.
And the amount of time that all of us have put into this show. I've received my version of this hate stuff over the years, too. We all get used to it, and Randy, that's why I didn't mention it or shout it out, because I know we all kind of know how to deal with this at this point. So I'm sorry if you were wanting someone to reach out for you.
No. Actually, the only part that I wanted you to be involved, I figured since I'm here, I'm going to say it here, and whoever listens to it. I'm not going to take up 40 minutes recording this and saying it, but what I want to say to you, what I wanted to say to you was... my intention of the mannerism of the show, the only part that I wanted to say to you directly is intentional because I'm trying to make up for lost time of being away from the show, because I missed being on the show, and it's like I want to show the excitement. You. It's fun. I didn't realize I went back last night, and I was like, Mike was only on tech for one episode, because then you had Scott, you had Nathan. You had Nathan.
And then guy named Marquez, I think. Is that his name?
Yeah, some up and coming.
Some dude. Yeah, I heard he has a YouTube channel or something. I don't know.
I wish him the best.
I feel like we were providing him quite a bit of growth and
I wish him the best
and an audience. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my little mini rant. Not rant, but more of an explanation to you that I'm making up for last time. But also, there is a level of excitement, and no, I did not need you to come in and save me.
Daniel or David or whoever was making those comments. We don't hate you.
I don't hate you. Yeah. He said like it's better to be honest or whatever. Yeah, and
I appreciate it. We need that constructive criticism as creators. Like
the one chance you are watching this, Daniel or whatever your name is, I hear what you're saying, but I know you have not been around long enough to understand what that is. When WWDC happened, we didn't have time to fluff around. We had to get straight to the information. We do it every keynote. We do things leading up to it. We do it when something is website refresh announced, or when we have something to review. When we all bought 12 Pros, knowing we weren't going to keep them, we all had something informative to bring to the table to talk about our observations with the 12 Pro.
Yeah,
and
I think there's a difference between a review and a roundtable discussion. Yes. And I feel like the first 40 minutes of the last episode was Randy's review. I've done some of those reviews, where I've talked about the beautiful silver 12 Pro or the amazing mini or whatever. Like I've had those review moments. Everyone on the show does, and that's
iPad. Oh man, so. iPad. I was convinced that you were never going to get a Mac because iPad was like the longest review for everything.
It is still a good device, but unfortunately Apple didn't give it Mac OS. So sad. Sad.
All right, so I gave you my one thing. Now you give me your one thing, and then I'll tell you my other thing.
Okay. I want to go live in a van by the river. Not just any river.
Oh, no, here we go.
The Port of Brownsville River.
You went far into this van life.
I am so deep down. So some people have seen the cryptic tweets, and even some people have asked me directly, "What's up with the van life stuff? Are you gonna start living in a van? I was expecting you to already be in a van." And no, I'm not doing it because I want to be homeless or because I want to make some statement like Casey Neistat. I'm doing it because I want the freedom that comes with that, and I'm not going to be doing it full time. 100%. So, likely, if it all works out, I'll be van lifing at about halftime down to Boca Chica. Lots over the summer here. I'm not going to be getting a van, though, impressively. Be van lifing in an SUV, which will be kind of even more fun. And
Is this your SUV?
I think I'm just going to try to make my SUV work. It's kind of high mileage. It's 150,000 on a Ford, so, it has a new transmission, a new struts, and a rebuilt engine, so it should be good. But you never know; it's an older Ford. But
that means parts are cheap if something happens.
Yeah, parts are cheap, and I know the repair history since the first owner of that car, so I'm confident in my car. But I guess kind of at the end of the day, I was kind of like, well, I have X amount budgeted that I could be spending on this whole project, and do I want to drop $6,000 to $9,000 on like a used Dodge Caravan or whatever, and turn that into a van life or whatever? It's like, no, I'm just gonna make do with what I got, and if at some point down the road I realize that that's not gonna work, then we can talk about that. But why waste money when you don't need to? So I'm excited. So basically it involves, it's the back of the Ford Escape. I have a 2008 white Ford Escape. The back of the Escape, when you sit full down the second row, is only 5 feet long from the back to the front seats. So I'm also going to be removing the front seat.
In the passenger side?
The passenger side, yeah. So it's going to be more of a conversion than not, but it'll all be reversible and stuff. So when I'm done being van life, I can take it all apart. But anyway, I'm quite pumped. Like, things are in motion at this point.
Dude, I have questions.
All right.
First off, not a question, more of a statement. This is cool, exciting, and I'm happy for you. Congratulations if this if this works out the way you've had. This is so cool to hear. I'm gonna live van-curiously through you.
Oh, Van Curiously.
Oh,
sounds
man.
like Craig Curious.
I'm in the process of making a Craig sexual shirt. I don't know if I told you this.
No, I want to see this so bad, though.
I'm working on it.
You're about a month late, though.
No. This is a lifestyle.
Okay. All right. So maybe
every time there's an Apple event.
August.
Every time there's an Apple event, there's a moment to be Craig sexual.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm.
I have questions.
I'm a little intimidated. Yeah, go ahead.
First one is: Are you considering? Or I guess let me ask the first question instead of assuming. Have you established a final design of what you're going to do inside?
Yes.
Okay.
it's not on paper, but it's in my head,
Yeah.
and it's pretty locked in. I'm going to remove the seats in the back, just take them all out. That'll give me a little bit of storage space underneath, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be keeping all my content. And this is less of a, I'm going to go on an adventure and live in a van and live the hashtag van life on Instagram. This is a work, as Dwight Schrute would say, a mobility workplace or whatever in the work bus. This is a work bus, okay?
Yeah.
So sleeping is secondary.
I like how you took a dig at the Instagram vans. This isn't some inspirational quote.
It isn't.
Live life to the fullest. Looking at the sunset.
I will say that in my van, but it's not on Instagram. It'll be on TikTok. The big thing for me is not degrading to a large extent the quality of my current content. I'm very happy with the cadence of Today at Starbase. I'm very happy with the cadence of the 10 shows that I do regularly. I don't know how many do I do. We do tech, EV, space, movies, typically twice a week. Nick and the Nathans, Randy and Nick. I don't know. So 6 shows, 6 long form shows every week.
Nick and Nathan.
Yeah, we started up a new show that you maybe haven't heard of.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you know of the Nathans on Twitter. It's Nathan Cully and Nathan Matthews. They're around on Twitter. Once you know who they are, you'll see them.
I know. I'm familiar by name.
But yeah, we're doing a show together. We're on our 2nd episode. We're working on our 2nd episode.
Have you promoted this yet?
I have. Yeah, I've made a whole tweet about it and everything. Come on, Randy. He's just not a fan.
No, I'm not always on. Apparently,
not a fan. No, that's okay. But anyway, like I have, I guess 6 long form shows that I do every week, and I'd love to do more. And that requires a certain amount of production, and fitting this all into a little Ford Escape is difficult, might I say.
Yeah.
So the current idea is to have it an indoor-outdoor studio. It's going to be miserable. I'm going to be sitting in 110-degree heat, dying. I'm going to be sitting in thunderstorms with high humidity. It's going to be miserable, but I'm going to do it because I want to see this through.
Sure.
And, if it doesn't work on the first adventure, then we can rethink this and maybe get a different vehicle that has better accommodations. But I want to see if this will work.
Got to start somewhere.
So basically, it's a small SUV. It's a really compact SUV. It's about the smallest SUV you can have. But I'm going to pop the back hatch, and that'll kind of be an overhang. I'll set up like a little chair right behind there. Set up the camera inside the vehicle with my computer, a light, and all of the studio stuff in the back of the vehicle. And I'll likely have to build out some kind of a frame, because me sitting with my knees at the bumper, the top of the hatch only comes right over my head barely, and I'd like to go a little bit further so when it rains from weird directions I can still be recording.
Sure.
And then I'll be figuring out some ways to stop down the background so it's not quite so bright, so that we can have anyway, video stuff aside, I'm gonna build a basically tent type studio that'll attach to the back of my car, that I can then set up and tear down and do long form content in. Things are going to change, obviously, and I'm probably going to be sweating more, and you don't have to smell that, thankfully, and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be the same content on that same basis, which is what I'm looking for.
That is so exciting and cool. So it sounds to me before I asked you what the design, if you locked in on a design, I was assuming you were taking the approach of like that one video that you sent me, what that guy did to his car. That's how you're going to...
It's pretty much that, yeah.
So, is that going to be, or how are you going to manage bathroom and hygiene and stuff like that?
Yeah, so that's the big compromise. Randy and I have talked about this for many years, ever since we've been into tiny homes together. We've always been like, I'm never going to use a toilet that doesn't flush. I can't do that. We're Americans. Yeah, unfortunately, there are going to be compromises with this lifestyle, and that's a big one. But I think I'm okay with it.
I have a suggestion.
Okay.
Something that I did when I know we've talked about it. I don't know if I've said it here, but anybody who's anyway, not making assumptions here, but as I've told you know, there was a time in my life where I was living out of my car,
Mm-hmm.
and that time where I was in between homes, waiting to get established again, I
Mm-hmm.
was using the gym to go to the bathroom and use their showers and stuff like that. At this point, I still had access to base because I had my reserve card.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still able to have like commissary privileges and all that stuff. And one of the perks of that was utilizing the gym. So I made it work by going to the gym. I had some shower shoes and whatever, and I didn't just go there just to use the restroom and the showers. Though sometimes I did. Most of the time I would go there. It's like I would take this opportunity just to stretch my legs, actually do a workout or something, just so I can not feel crazy in my head about living in a car. If I did something normal as working out. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, once upon a time I used to work out extensively. I did not look like this.
He was.
Yes, Nick, I know. If I would
Jeff Goldblum.
You are a treat. Let me just drink you in. One day I'll get back to that, but I guess I'm not in a hurry. But that's what I did, and the equivalent for you, I don't know, like a 24-hour fitness or something. Doesn't have to be a fancy. I think they have memberships as low as like $10, $12 a month. Which I mean, if you're going to be cutting a lot of expenses out of your life to make this part work, I think that's $10, $12 well spent for its function. My other suggestion is establishing a I don't know what the laws or the rules are like down in Texas like that, but you can't have, like when I was in California, you can't just have a vehicle on the street at a certain spot at certain times and stuff like that. So once I was able to find my bearings about where I was okay and I knew I was safe and stuff like that, there's a bunch of scouting out some stuff, which I assume that's what you're going to be doing before you do all that anyway. So keep in mind about locations that you have a fallback to, the fallback to, and stuff like that. Just be in mind of plan B, C, and D when it comes to just where you're going to set up camp for a little bit. I think you're going to, whether it works or not, I think you're going to have one of the biggest experiences of your life doing something like this, because it's going to be so drastic. And it's just by nature of design, you're going to walk away from it learning so much more about yourself and learning what our minds are very flexible. And, we can bend pretty far and pretty hard before something snaps.
As long as you're up for it.
Yeah. And knowing it's going to suck is half the battle. The other half is actually enduring it at that point. But you can make, so many people can make it happen. You can make it happen. And what's funny, the funniest part about the whole experience, I know for you, is if you meet a local who goes, well, so where are you staying at? It's like, nah, I have a portable home right now. But the way you pitch it, people will be like, wait, you're choosing to do this? This is by choice? You weren't kicked out? It's like, yeah, I want to travel. How's that any different than backpacking through Europe?
It really isn't. And that was the realization I came to. I was like, wow, I have been backpacking up in the mountains with far fewer things than I could fit in this car.
Bingo.
For, a week at a time. Maybe not 2 weeks at a time, but I was carrying everything at that point. And hey, at the end of the day, I just drive home if I hate it.
This is true.
Like, I feel like this is a great opportunity to give it a try. I'm not going to have to pack everything that I own into the car. I don't know if I could do that anymore. I've collected one too many pieces of gear.
That's fine.
But, it's kind of just going to be an experiment. And if I don't like it, I don't like it. If I like it but want to have a real toilet, then I guess we're building a whole van out. But
you will walk away from it regardless saying that's the worst that it'll ever be, because whatever you don't
then
like,
next time I'll know what I'm doing.
You can modify,
bring the right tools,
refine. By then you'll have the Cybertruck, which will be immensely bigger.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, it's just coming right around the corner in 2 weeks.
You're gonna have 2 weeks, Nick. You're gonna have the experience and the knowledge of knowing what to do to make better. So whatever's about to happen, and as well prepared you would be going into it, and even say you like it, if the experiment works, it's still going to be the worst thing that you would have had to gone through up to that point, and it only gets better and easier from that point forward. So it's a win-win in the sense. The only time it's not a win is if, you know, God forbid something happens to your transportation or to your gear. Then at that point it's like, okay, now we're in the hole on some stuff here. But outside of that, if it's like, man, this sucks, I'm living out of my comfort zone for long periods of time, just remember what you just said. You've been backpacking through the mountains. It's no different than, you know, backpacking through Europe.
Actually, it's way better because I can go to Starbucks at any point and get a ice cold coffee or water or whatever at any point.
And if you do the gym thing, you will have access to a shower and all that stuff.
Real shower, and nice toilets. Yeah. I guess why it's kind of flipped in my head that I'm willing to do this, because Randy and I have talked, for those of you listening, Randy and I have talked about building tiny homes for like years. Like since 2018? I don't know how long it's been, but years.
Very long time.
Been like, okay, we'll send each other just on occasion like pictures of floor plans of tiny homes, and we'll geek out about that for long into the night. But it's never been something that I felt like was super attainable. You know, it's like, okay, maybe at some point I'll get a Connex box and build out my own Connex box tiny home. But the thing about the tiny home is it's not about the home or the minimalism. While visually that's a lot of it for me. You know, I just love how compact and minimal, you know, a nice, well-decorated, well-appointed tiny home can be. Yeah. To me, it's really about the freedom that provides. Not having to pay $100 and something a night for a hotel, or like $300 a night when they're doing launches, because guess what? Everyone wants a hotel when they're doing something fun down there. It's not about the glamorous Instagram life. It's even not really about traveling to fun places for me. Yeah. Like I'm probably not gonna be going to the Grand Canyon and then to the Tetons, and maybe I will at some point. I don't know. But for me, this is a means to get down to come see you. Maybe I'll have to do that. But to me, this is a means to an end to get to what I want to do. Like, there's a vision. What I want to do is do stuff down in Starbase. You know, I want to do ambisonics recording. I want to do on-site news. Like, I want to be a tank watcher. That's what I want to do when I grow up. All right, there, I said it. I want to sit across the road from Starbase with a pair of binoculars and watch other people work. That's what I want to do for a living. But that's only possible with, you know, either infinite money or living really leanly. Because, you know, I don't have a house down there, and I'm not going to be paying oodles of money for a hotel. And maybe 1 or 2 nights it'll be too cold or too hot and I'll break down and do a hotel. That's fine. Whatever. It's life. But just knowing that I have the ability to just kind of pick up and go is kind of important to me at this point. And I want to live that and experience it, and we'll see what happens. You know, I don't know. And so that's why I'm not going to be drilling any holes in my car or, you know, do anything irreversible. I can put the seats back in and it won't be a big deal. But basically, you asked what the design of it, and I think we haven't even answered that question fully. But yeah, there's going to be the pop-out tent. I already have a solar panel that I'm going to put on the roof that'll provide a whole battery system that we already have that'll get me, you know, two 110 outlets and then some USB ports, so we should be good there. And then build out like a plywood kind of mount that just sits on top of the back of the car, and then has some posts to allow for storage underneath the I'm taking out the seats, right? And so like there's going to be this cavity underneath the bed frame area, basically. Yeah. And so that'll be to have some storage, you know, stick the drone in there. Still hasn't come. I haven't gotten the new one yet. I'm so sad every time I look at that box. I don't know. They're like 1 to 2 months. I'm like, why? No, I want that drone. lighting equipment, boots. Like there's all these little things that you don't really think about when you just are looking. And now that I'm actually building out a list of like, okay, what do I need to bring? Okay, I'm gonna be hiking around a dune pile. I don't want to be wearing my Kolhan shoes. I want to bring some actual wear that is proper and attire and stuff, and water and food and stuff. So
I got a video I have to find for you where this guy I was subscribed to him once before. His content changed for me, so I stopped watching. But one of the coolest things that he did on one of the videos that I don't even know if it's the most popular one. I doubt it now, but for me, it was the most like extreme, and he did it on purpose. He put everything, his whole life, in a single backpack, and he shows you the style of the backpack. Obviously, he put like Amazon links in the bottom, a little affiliate link thing, whatever. Hey, these are all the things that I have. But he had a all-purpose like utility shoe that was light, but it kept out wetness and water, but still insulated your feet. He had he broke it down. He did like a tear down of his backpack, and he said, my literal whole life is in this backpack. And he from the amount of socks and underwear he would have to the different types of breathable shirts and shorts and everything, how he would sleep with a hammock or with a sleeping bag, because he went from minimalist to
nomad.
He became a nomad. He went and he started traveling, and he's like from New York City, and he left his like.
He's already used to not living with much stuff,
right? But he had a 2-bedroom apartment that he was sharing with his girlfriend, and he's like, I'm gonna go travel for a little bit. He admits later that it was actually, though he took the title of minimalist and then nomad, and it blew up for him and it got really popular for him and he got known for it. He admitted that was a necessity because of how in the hole in debt he was, and he had to cut back spending. He said, but after all that, he's like, and he goes, to be honest, I'm still in debt and I'm still working towards paying it off. And at this point, this guy had, enough to have a YouTube play button, but he was still in debt, And
where does he keep that?
And so he goes, I'm working towards paying it off, but even when I become debt free, I think I'm still going to stay this way. I don't know, because at this point, his content, he became more about not travel vlogs, but like hiking, weird things, which is cool. I appreciate for what it was, but that's not. I liked his minimalist series that he had, and when he deviated from that and became more of a nomad, I'm like, I'm not interested in nomad. I'm interested in learning how, because he would problem solve as a minimalist on real life things, and as a content creator, I'm like, hey, I'm a content creator. Hey, I'm a minimalist. Let's see how you do your things. That's cool how you put your whole life in your backpack like that. He goes, this is my bug out bag, that if I had to leave, like this backpack is always ready to go if something worst case scenario. And he's God forbid another 9/11 happened or something, I have a bug out back where I can go and be completely independently self-sufficient, where he had all the proper legal documents on him at all times, where like if that apartment burnt down, he would not lose sleep over anything that was irreplaceable, minus the IKEA bed or a certain monitor or camera or something like that. But so I want to find that video and I want to show you it just so I can give you maybe some ideas on what my takeaway from it was, how he was able to maximize small spaces. And if you're going to work with a small SUV, maybe there's something in there of value for you. I don't know. It doesn't hurt any. I'll find the video and I'll send it to you. But it's cool. I like hearing this because you are going to become a little bit of a nomad, and that's exciting.
Yeah, it's only temporary, right?
And it is temporary.
I'm not going to be giving up any studio space. I'm just going to take what I need and go, and if it doesn't work, then I'll come back.
That's the problem. People feel like they'd be so set in their ways, like you're not.
That's the thing about the van life thing, though. It's like I need to build out a whole van and get the permits and figure out all the systems, and it's just like $100,000 right there to get like a good Sprinter van with all built out and everything, like all the Instagrammers. And it's like, oh, that's not attainable for me right now. So what can I do? And if the end goal is just the ability to go down to Starbase and make content, which that's what the goal is for me, then what am I willing to give up to achieve that goal? And if a goal is worth achieving, I've always believed that you should be willing to give up a significant amount of, other things to achieve that goal if it's worth achieving. And for me, right now, this summer, Starbase is my goal. And that's it, Chief.
I think it sounds to me what you're saying, because it doesn't have to be so set in your ways. What I'm hearing is what you need is a long, extended, intricate vacation.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a workcation. So
that's fine. It's a vacation where you have to work from remotely.
I'm not. There's going to be very little of vacationing going on.
I'm just mentally trying to make you feel good.
I plan on being up before every sunrise and up after every sunrise to do live stream sunrises.
Well, after summertime and summer solstice and all that, the days get shorter anyway. You'll be okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
You'll be able to get some sleep in, or your inner night owl will come back out, and then you're just gonna start.
I've been slowly adjusting my sleep schedule a little bit over the past weekend, basically, and adding in a few siestas because I think that'll really fit well with. Okay. I hate AirPods. Hold on.
Did they die on you? All right. Well, while they died, this is an example, ladies and gentlemen, of when I say we have a way of covering ground to fill dead air and be able to still provide entertainment while he's still setting up. So at the end of the day, it still works. And by the time someone like Nick will get back online, we didn't actually have any dead air. And that's because we're professionals with this stuff. And it's not me hogging up time, as some would say.
Thanks for filibustering, Randy. Appreciate it. My AirPod, I charged both of them before we started the show.
Yeah.
And then, like 20 minutes ago, one of the AirPods was like bloop, 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 bloop. So I switched them. No problems. And then the other one went bloop, 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 bloop. And then I was like, okay, so I got out the other one that was charging, and that one paired to this Mac, and the other one was paired to the other Mac.
Yeah, I saw you tinkering.
And then it was just, and then they both stopped working. And I'm like, all right, we're going with the wire.
I'll be honest, Nick, ever since I went back to using over-ear, I don't think I'm going back to AirPods. Sometimes less is more. This is way more convenient.
Uh-huh. I know that cable. That's why I was like, I'm not going to deal with getting my other pair of AirPods and trying to get those work. I'm like, I know that cable will work, and it's long enough, so... Here we are. Look at us. Bunch of studio professionals. Professional.
So,
yeah.
The last thing I want to talk about is what I've been working on every waking moment. And this is very literal. Before recording.
I thought you looked more handsome. Was that your manicure, pedigree, and all that fun stuff?
I did get a new skin regimen going on. For the last 2.5 weeks or so, I told you last time we recorded too, and I was working on something with like Simon or something like that musically. Mm-hmm. This is not that.
Okay.
This is actually something that you know about that I don't think anybody else knows about, except for Brittany now, because I shared a more polished final version. I am actually, before I even say it, open floor question to you. Have you ever worked on something? It's done. It looks nice. But your perfectionism flares up. So you go back to work on it. And then you make it worse than what it was maybe the last iteration around.
What I have to say to that is, who wants a stylus? Yes, I do.
As of before I went to Home Depot today and got my coffee and stuff like that, this morning, technically, this one song I've been working on, my comeback song, so to say, my launch, my debut single that's going to come out, not as Time After Ashes, but as me, was done. Or I could say is done, but I started listening to the final playback one more time with fresh ears. It's like, oh, I think I could change this little part a little bit more. I'm doing little adjustments, and now I feel like I ruined the whole thing again. I'm like, God, do I need to re-record something now?
Oh no.
Yeah. So now the whole thing's like, but the song is done, and it's a song that you know.
Okay.
It's the one I've played it to you before, a very early version. It's the one that you were hooked on the line that said, "I was a prisoner of my war." That song is done.
Okay.
And that song...
You were working that in San Diego, yeah?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
Everything about it, recording-wise, was done in San Diego. Here has been nothing but mix and master. So it's all post-production stuff out here. But I also got my my cover art for it, which I'm going to send to you right now because...
Exclusive.
Exclusive. Don't share this. I'm purposely hiding it right now. Because I'm going to market this, but I'm sharing it to you for a very specific reason. Because you are familiar with my cover art.
Oh, have I had a hand on this cover art?
You tell me.
I don't know. It hasn't come through yet.
Yes, it has.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, it says delivered.
Well, let's see. Maybe it came through on... Oh, there it is. Oh my! Ooh, so you're gonna break the mold. I like it. Oh, okay. You guys are in for a treat. All y'all watching this show, it's gonna be some crispy album art. I've been sitting on this picture for a half a year now. Finally.
Whoa. Oh yeah,
January.
End of January 17th or something like that. Anyway, we are breaking the mold. I am breaking a cardinal rule here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because the photo was just too damn good. I couldn't. I edited it to a way where if you open up the photo,
I see some.
Yes.
Can I fix that for you?
Fix what?
Your ear is purple.
My ear is purple?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the 8-bit color and saturation. I'll fix that for you.
Sure. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, I didn't even notice that.
No one would notice that except for me, especially on a album art. But
you took the photo. Anyway, that so I'm not releasing that. I have a schedule of how things are going to go, and the cover art for that, which is this, will come out most likely within a week or two from now. But that I'm breaking a cardinal rule. I'm breaking outside the mold.
And what's that rule?
Shot on iPhone. This, and I kicked and I kicked and I kicked because I'm going to show you a contender that almost made the cut. I am going to use it for something, and I only feel it's appropriate for me to share this with you, honestly, because as a photographer and everything, that just certain thing I think you could appreciate more. For this one, to keep it in its square aspect ratio, don't click outside of its...
iMessage? Got it.
Yeah, so you can actually see how it is. This is unedited, but I am going to do something with this. And it's sending now. I heard it come through.
This computer is driving me nuts.
Yeah.
The betas have been more stable than big... Ooh.
That was shot on iPhone.
Ooh.
And I have an idea conceptually what I want to do with it, but that I was going at the right speed to make that happen. I'm speaking very innuendo for people who don't understand what's happening, but this is the part where it's just you and me talking. So I was driving, or not driving, but because I wasn't the one driving, but we were moving at the right speed for me to make that happen. And that was for the longest time going to be the cover art. But I was like, for it to be my debut single for me, it's like, that's not appropriate photo for it. And the one you took was, but it does mean I have to break my rule. And rules are meant to be broken sometimes. The one that you submitted for the Dawn album, that was not shot on iPhone. The drone was,
yeah.
That wasn't, neither of those were shot on iPhone. So, true. I mean, rules are meant to be broken. I'm not married to the thing. The point of it is an exercise to make it happen. Mm-hmm. So the one that you submitted that I almost picked, not shot on iPhone, and it's too beautiful for me to dismiss it. This wasn't shot on iPhone. That's dumb.
Yeah.
And the drone one was too perfect symbolically to not be used.
Yeah.
So I've concluded, I've deduced that I think all the photos that in some way, shape, or form that you've done, I'm using. So I'm like, these are perfect. Prime example of saying that like you have an expertise that I don't dismiss that definitely merits me breaking my rule.
Well, I'm honored.
So for the last 2.5 weeks, I've been in mixing and mastering phase. I mastered the track. Everything was done effective yesterday. About to submit to distribution and start the clock on something. But then this morning I listened to it. I was like, I think this part might be a little too loud. And so, and like you pointing out the ear thing to me, it's only something only I would have noticed. But I refuse to hear something where if like, there's a part where at one point using the other mic, I was like that, like, or whatever. I can hear it. And
you made a mouth noise.
I made a mouth noise that no one else, and by no one I mean Brittany, no one else heard. And I was like, I hear it, it's bothering me, and I found a way to go in there and cut it out and make it clean. But it's my audio file tendencies being like, I'm being a perfectionist, and I can hear every little frequency of that little, I don't know, the way I said four on something, it was too much of a and I didn't like that, so I found a way to fit. So I'm just nitpicking at that point. But anyway, so all that to say that I've been mixing and mastering the track for the last 2.5 weeks, and today it will be done. And
nice.
I think I don't know if I said it while we recorded before we recorded, but also I did say while we were recording. Tomorrow I will be putting out a performance video of
yes,
Halo.
Yes, you did.
So
you said that on the show.
I've been 100%. I know it doesn't look like content has been coming out from me because the nature of my work in music
takes time.
Involves a lot of behind the scenes things. And I try to stream as much as possible I can to share and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. But some stuff just I can't do by streaming. And I got some back-to-back things that will be happening, and then I'll be coming out. So I'm really excited. I'm thinking of Here's my remedy about shot on iPhone. I'm thinking about filming the music video shot on iPhone.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. So that's my remedy about if the cover art can't be shot on iPhone, the official music video will. So
that's fair. Then the Sony's did the video for Halo, so now that this one is having the Sony do the
Twilight
image, then Twilight.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I haven't filmed Halo yet.
Okay.
We haven't. No. I did a lyric video.
Was Twilight?
Twilight was the one that you and I did.
Okay.
Yeah, and the cover art was shot on iPhone.
You make too many songs, Randy. Please stop making songs.
Twilight, and Halo will convert over to my artist channel under Randy after I release my debut, because I want the debut to be an introduction to how I am today, and then I'm going to just backtrack a little bit and share. Give proper attention to 2 songs that mean a lot to me, and everything else will continue to live on Time After Ashes because that was worked with the other guys. So I like what we do as a band that stays on Time After Ashes, but there are some things that I like that were very individual to me that I feel like should be with me because it also sounds different. It's less aggressive. It's more sonic in the sense of just soundscapes and stuff like that, and that's just what I do as an individual, I guess. But question. This is very random, but this is a question for you because somebody asked on the tech podcast yesterday. Should I put out a full version of the song?
I believe we made one, didn't we?
We dabbled in it for a second.
But
it's nowhere near what it like.
Okay, it's not randied yet.
It's
nicked. It's nicked. It's not randied.
It is noise.
It is noise. Yes, that's what it is.
It is noise.
What's my line?
It is something. You're like, oh, that's something. It is something.
It is something.
It is noise. The way you just come in like, it is noise. Dead. Dead. I love it. No, I can never replace you. You are a perfect comedian sidekick of things of mine. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Well, that's super exciting, man. I'm super thrilled because I know me myself as a huge Randy Vasquez fan. I've been sitting around waiting for the dawn of new music to come.
Yeah.
And it's been a while, and I'm pumped. It's gonna be good.
It's always the pre-hype leading into the hype leading to the release. There's a schedule that I'm going to be sticking to lead up to this. Where I'm at right now in the pre-hype, right when I'm about to finish mastering, is always the most nervous because it's not a character that I'm playing. This is me, just in a different form. And when I do something that's me, very, very me, even like if I'm the one singing on it or something, that it's intimidating. I don't want to give away too much about this song because I want to save it for the hype part, like leading like 1 week to release. But what I will say that's a little bit more bigger picture is what I know that most of the time when I write a song, like a song, lyrically it's something very relevant to me. There's been a few times where I'll write a song that's more jest and play a character or something. Even if it's something as short as like the NA song or so whatever, it's more I'm just doing a character. I've written songs in the past that I was telling a story that had nothing to do with me. It was just a story of like a king or something like that, and so like that's just me playing around with concepts and stuff like that. But my music, like Halo, very personal song. Twilight was at the time a personal song for its time. This song is a personal song, and so lyrically this holds relevance to something, but I think the only teaser I will say is that this is a song that could relate to for someone even like you or Drew or anybody else who does media or content, because part of I like to have dual meanings or multiple meanings with my song, and one of the very prominent meanings for me personally was a certain expectation that we're held to as somebody who puts ourselves out there on the internet to provide content, entertainment, value to something, and living up to an expectation. And that is something, that was the first premise of something where I was like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm vibing to lyrically, that is about that. And then it's like, all right, but I'm also going to write it where it has multiple meanings. It could be about a relationship. It can be about something else. It could be about anything. Obviously, I always try to make my songs be as ambiguous as possible so people can have their own connection to it. Yeah. But lyrically, you would understand a part to it based off of just based off of the concept. I see you fixing it. You fixed it. I just got your photo.
I did. Yep.
Oh, is this the same resolution and everything?
Yeah, it should be whatever you just sent me, just without the...
I mean, that was a raw photo that you took. So there's a lot of data in that.
I didn't check the size, but yeah, let's see.
Maybe when I edited it, it wasn't, but anyway.
Yeah, 3.5 megs. Yep, it should be pretty good quality.
Yeah, that's good enough for them to accept it, but that would be my... And I found a way to make it my profile photo now. So,
there you go.
I'm going to use it as marketing.
I was waiting for you to change your profile picture to that because that's been my favorite picture of you in a long time. Like, I haven't. Your profile picture for my contact for you is still the Animoji with your one monocle and you're going. But
I've updated my you said Animoji, my Memoji.
Memoji.
Hang on. I'm going to text you my update. I almost posted it, and then I said, nah, I'm going to wait, but I'll show you it. Because I'm like, maybe I'll turn this into another...
Oh, my goodness. Randy, you got pink hair and nose gauges? What?
Here's the screenshot. I'm not gonna send you the final one just yet, but here's what it is. Pink hair and
ooh.
My hair's changed a little bit.
Ooh. Okay. I like it. That's good.
Yeah.
Can I put that in the show?
As our thumbnail?
No, just pop it in the show so people can see.
I'll let you pick between that one or this one. This one I spent a little extra time editing in over.
Ooh.
It's also a screenshot, but I just cleaned it up in over.
Yeah, that looks nice and clean.
You want me to do the same for the green?
No, it looks nice and clean. I like it.
I know, but I'm asking, do you want me to do it in the green as well, clean it up? Or are you going to use the gray one?
I'll use both.
Okay.
Because now they're confused at what we're talking about.
All right, that's fine. Did you hear about Over?
You mean Big Daddy?
Go Daddy!
No. Every time I open Over and it says, Daddy. I'm like, oh, golly. That's why I've left Over. I haven't touched Over in probably a month now.
Because of that?
Not because of that, but yeah, because of that. I've now moved to Pixelmator Pro on the MacBook, and so that's just far better in every direction. I mean, Over's great for what it does, but there's no comparison. I mean, I couldn't have... I just did that quick color correct thing. Like, you had the weird pink artifacts in your ear. It was like literally 3 clicks in Pixelmator Pro. It's a Photoshop replacement. It's just very powerful. So no, I haven't been using Over recently.
Yeah, I'm sad that it's going away because I liked how clean it. Well, it's not that it's going away. It's just it's been bought out, and I think
we know how well that works. Yeah. BVAA.
Yeah, you and I are jaded by that.
I'm not jaded. I got out just in time. I got out with hours.
I'm just jaded by what what led up to it.
Yeah, that was a sad experience.
Spanking, but simple. Oh, perfect. That was a perfect slogan. Everything. Sad.
Yeah, didn't wrecked it, and then PC, whatever the other one, just bought PNC. And just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, PNC.
So glad I got out of that. So glad.
I think Over has a special place in my heart because I used it for so long, but I know when it, GoDaddy was my very first domain hoster. I bought my domain through GoDaddy, and it just kind of converted over since then. So, because I own the randyvasquez.com domain. Mm-hmm. I think it's under Wix right now or whatever. I'm probably going to move it over again to like Squarespace or something. But years and years.
That's great, Randy. I'm so thankful you mentioned this week's sponsor.
Sponsored by Squarespace. Make beautiful, elegant websites. Pre-made templates ready to go. Takes minutes.
Wow!
Wow!
Have you been caught up on Loki, Randy?
No.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
I have not. I'm gonna watch it sometime this week.
Do it. It's
I heard.
Good.
I
New
heard it's amazing.
Drops tomorrow.
The final episode?
No, the next episode. They're Wednesday releases for some reason. I don't know why they do that, but yep.
Mid-season finale?
Mid-season finale was last week, so this is the first of the second half this week.
Is it really a mid-season finale if they're just coming right back the following week?
Well, I mean, there's only 6 episodes, so we just finished the 3rd one. We're starting the 4th, so it's a good show.
I heard it's great, and luckily no one spoiled it for me, so I am gonna watch it. But within the first 2 episodes, people were like, "Oh boy." Mm-hmm. I saw some memes that...
Oh, you did? Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get what's happening here then, and that's where
Don't spoil it. If you want to know my thoughts, I did a whole video on the Taylor Swift movie review channel with Mike. Did a whole spoiler review. Self-plug.
I will do it afterwards. I will watch the first 3 episodes. Hopefully...
You're going to want to binge them. I mean, I normally try
Are they 30 minutes
things.
Or an hour?
Like 45 to an hour.
Nice.
Yeah, they're nice episodes.
Hey, like Disney might have found their flow of things by doing episodic things instead of movies.
Especially during the pandemic.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to see Loki though. I'm so excited. The last thing I saw on Disney Plus was Cruella.
Oh, did you see that? I haven't seen that yet.
It's actually really good.
Is it free yet? Is it free yet?
I don't know. I think it was rented when I saw it because the person's account that I was using is
had their credit card attached to it, and you're just like, woo.
No, they rented it and they said, hey, we rented it, and I'm pretty sure it's cross profiles. So
okay, cool.
They said you guys should watch it. So we did. Brittany really wanted to see it, and yeah, Amazon's great. It's I just like her as an actress. So, I think I've been a fan of her since the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, it's still paid. You still have to pay. Sadness.
It's good.
Anyway.
But I honestly, if you're not into the old stuff like that anyway, just wait until it gets free.
Yeah, I'm going to wait till it's free.
Yeah.
I make it a point not to pay for extra stuff when I can avoid it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So we covered minimalism, tiny homes, people on the internet.
The cube.
That was the last thing on our list. Man.
But we're out of time.
Fortunately, we don't have time today to talk about the cube.
Dang.
Maybe next week.
Dang.
Maybe next week we'll talk about the cube.
Maybe. You got to do the cube before you take your little nomad, self-discovery.
I don't know about that.
Before you, fine, I'll do it. I'll come with
I need to learn how to use. I need to learn how to use Blender before we can talk about it.
I'll be like, all right, and over here.
Holds up a cube.
The moment I know, I'm just gonna get like an ice cube. Imagine this, but bigger. Everything about the cube, man. Everything about every time we start talking about it, I get jazzed about it. Oh, I remember what I was gonna tell you about minimalism and tiny homes, though, because you and I have always geeked out about it. So much so that Brittany is adamant about getting one now, a tiny home. And
I am such a trendsetter. I am so happy that I inspired you, Randy.
That's right.
Go live out of your Tesla. No,
it's gonna be parked somewhere close to Lake Austin.
Ooh.
Yeah. While it's still cheap, and because we don't plan on owning property in Texas anytime soon, we still want to have a retreat, and we love tiny homes, and we want to be in Austin as much as possible. So there you go. That's how we're doing it.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I'm done.
I'm done. Yeah.
You left me satisfied and smiling. Bye.
Bye.